Hey, what is up, everyone, and welcome back to another market review. It is Saturday currently. Tomorrow is Sunday, meaning that we get market open. So we're going to go ahead and break down some pairs, and then that way we'll be kind of refreshed and have a sense of what's going on. So that way, if anything comes up during the day, you already have your charts pretty much prepped for the week ahead, and you have an idea of where you want to go, what pairs you want to trade, and also have some ideas saved ahead of time so you're not scrambling last minute to try and do guesswork of what's happening and what's not happening. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into it. Of course, the first thing that we're going to look at here is the dollar. Okay, so we had some good movement last week on the dollar. Again, let's go ahead. I'm going to delete some of this off so that way y'all can see it done fresh again. We had a rejection here. There's a liquidity zone that this hit off of. And then if we go ahead, we mark this high, okay? And then the second one we have is there. And then also on the weekly time frame, there's this pattern that I'm starting to see, which is this right here. And then we haven't got really a clear bottom for it yet. I could use this as a suggestion, kind of like the flag. But in this type of scenario, I want to leave it separated. I like the top because the top's kind of formed. You have a clear touch. But with this being the first impulse back up where we broke this high, okay, you had this was the clear pattern that formed, and then we broke this high, and then we got our first pullback here. So I wouldn't want to mark it off of this, though I could. I want to leave that separated. And that's exactly wise, because this was our first impulse back above this, meaning we got our first, as y'all know exactly what I'm about to say. Let me grab our text box wherever it is. There it is. First higher high in the bigger, in the smaller thing side of things. And right here we get our first higher low. Okay, so right now, because we got this rejection, we're going to be looking for a second one of these up top. That's my personal note for this pair. So let's go ahead. We're going to drop down into our daily time frame. And you will notice I don't like to zoom all the way in. Like what I mean is by enlarging the chart like this, I like to be zoomed out to about right here, just so I can barely see the bars and just enough information to know what's going on. So let's go ahead. Let's throw this up here. That's something that I'm going to refine as we get a closer look into this thing. I know we had this here originally, and when we talked about this last week, the reason I put it here is because we got a break below on this candle, okay, and then it broke here, and then it immediately pushed back up, and then we got a candle and then another candle back into it. So really price didn't close till right there in that area. So that's why I'm going to put my trend line there. Again, read between the lines. Okay. That's going to go there. And then we had a box on here because I noticed a huge support zone in this area where if I did see price break here last week, like I said, we would look into some lows into this area where then we could start to get a push back above and then go higher. And it would null and void this. And this is really the support that we would have down on the bottom. And some people aren't big fans of the support boxes. For me, this is one of those things that it really helps you find an area of support or an area of resistance when there isn't a clear liquidity zone or a clear pattern that's being formed so you can throw your box on. So that's what we were looking for this past week, which was this. And I'm pulling it off a recent price. Okay, right there. Rejection, rejection. Even into this area, some rejection up top, came below, rejection on bottom, rejection back above on top. So you can start to see why we did this. And we're still on the daily. So let's go ahead and drop down. Hopefully we have time to get to our other pairs, but if not, this will be enough for what you can kind of expect. Again, price is rejected back above here, which is what we wanted to see. But what I really want to see is a break above this. So wouldn't it give this sign and then a stop back up into here and then go higher, looking for like a flag into this area. But we haven't broken this yet, so I'm not looking to do anything crazy with the dollar without it seeing it break above this area. And this is a higher time frame. Then we would get a push back into here and then a move higher, giving us flag in here, probably flag in here too, for making its move up. So yeah, as far as I'm concerned, momentum was still down last week, so you can see, but we just got a break of that. So like I said, that's kind of what I'm going to be looking at. There's no reason really to drop down into the 1 hour. The 1 hour is going to tell me what my higher time frames are already telling me. And yeah, price is just kind of slowly getting into this area. So we might get this break above and then a rejection back below to then go lower. I'm gonna leave that on here just like that. But let's go ahead. Let's jump into my favorite pair, gold. And yep, I bet you can't guess. We are going to do another top-down analysis on gold. So let's go ahead, throw this on. I'm leaving this on here for as long as you see me trading this. This flag just gives me an indication of where we're at in the market, right? So we're still getting this, we're still in our impulsive move up. It hasn't given us a sign of reversal below here. So we're still in the impulsive move upwards. Again, no sign of reversal. That is a clear bull flag. We're going to drop down into the daily time frame. And this is where we're going to start getting into the nitty gritty. Okay, let's drop this back. So first things first, we have a beautiful flag down here. And then if you look at my stream from last week, we actually talked about this whole move up for the past 2 weeks and the rejection that we got up top because of this zone. Break above, hit trend line, 1, 2, 3, the third wave, if you're familiar with someone said Elliot's wave. They didn't think I was trading. They said you don't need to use it, you can use Elliot's wave. And technically, yeah, they're right. But technically is what I said. So here, as you can see, this would be your normal Elliot's wave. But guess what? It's in this pattern too. If I flip this chart, whichever way this is, you would see the 1, 2, 3, And then after the 1, 2, 3, guess what? We're going to get that first sign of reversal. So we got our third touch off our trend line. That's money for us. We'd love to see that. So we took a beautiful short, 2 beautiful shorts last week. And the week before we were taking some longs because we're just following our trend. And right now, that's something I want us to be mindful of is following our trend currently. That should be our biggest thing is following the trend. You shouldn't be fighting which way the market momentum. Yeah, you shouldn't be fighting which way the market has momentum. You should just be playing into it. So yeah, we had this descending here, which showed us price was wanting to reverse. And then we have this beautiful continuation up. And right now, we never hit our target. There's our other one. That's our other one. And that's our other one down here. 1, 2, 3. So right here we have our 4-hour LQZ / liquidity zone with our take profit. And this one would be our, guess what? Since it's further down, daily LQZ / take profit. And when we get into these areas, we can almost get a sign of, okay, flip that back on. Have it that set on a timer so it shuts off. Yeah, this is a perfect zone. So this is for sure we're going to get the movement back into this area this next week. There's no patterns formed. All we have is this liquidity zone. What I would be looking for is either a clear breakthrough with some form of pattern to say that we want to go into these lows here. Right there. Or we would look for the tag of this, break below, break back in, to start to get some retracement. And when we get our retracement, I'm throwing on our fib here. Guess I could go just for this from the original move down. And then we would look for about either a 1/4% or up into this area. But from looking at it, that does make sense because right here in our 382, we have some sort of resistance in this area, though it's small. And you can see it. Rejection, rejection, break above, rejection, and then we came into this area, rejected there as well. I'm not sure what this looks like further back, so let's grab our thing. I'm really only concerned about recent data, but I mean, pretty good area, I would say. For sure, definitely an area that I'm going to keep in mind, especially with the price impulsively breaking above, then rejecting. And then here we get a rejection, though it's not, these aren't as significant as this bit of price information that we have. That is definitely way more vital. But since we're only going off of this, since that's valid, I'm not going to keep that bar all the way across. I'm going to come back over here on my chart and just tighten that up because I don't need, lines and everything, flowing all across my chart. We're just trying to get relevant piece of price information. So as of right now, there's nothing here. So you already know what I'm about to tell you. Be patient. Could get some sort of price trickles down, breaks back above, goes higher, then we get a rejection, and then we start to make some lows into this, kind of forming this bad boy, and then we probably get some sort of ascending into here, and then you would look for a flag once you get this rejection, either a small flag in this area, or you could take the flag off of the momentum that we get off the market. So gold's pretty clear, pretty straightforward. There's not a lot of time we need to spend on it, like I said. And if we get moving above here, like I'm still gonna wait, because for gold to have a change in direction, we would have to have a break back above this, because this is our higher high. Higher low, and this was our, in a smaller time frame of things, okay, don't flip out on me, lower high, and we would need to see price break above this one to indicate that it wants to go higher. But as of right now, as soon as we break this area, we're definitely going to be going down into these targets at 2288. So there's gold, and then we got a couple minutes left, not many. Let's go ahead and check out Nvidia. So Nvidia just hit my 4-hour. I'm not even paying attention to those gaps in price. They're pretty irrelevant. Yeah, not too much on Nvidia, but this could mean that we start to get a either a clear, we want a clear break below, you don't want that, and then you could start to target some lows on Nvidia. But right now, like, look at this, okay? What is the trend? What's the trend? Okay, so if we know the trend, then until it gives us a sign, which the sign would literally be back below this area, that the market wants to reverse, then you shouldn't be banking on this reversing, because you could just have the market trickle down and then start to push up, which I see more of. And then you could get a bigger flag like this, hover above, and then you could honestly might be able to look for some highs on Nvidia after that. So there's that, and then Tesla, it's just being Tesla. There's a low down there that we would look to target, and then let's look at GBP. Oh yeah, that's not done going up. We might start to get a little bit of a rejection just because of where it's at, but I see this thing going higher. I don't see GBP not hitting 1.31, and that's our daily liquidity zone, which is even more significant. Like that's more important than anything. On a smaller time frame of trend, That's what we're looking like. And that's the daily.